Good evening. Tonight is November 29, 2025, and I'm continuing to talk about animal abuse by community. Unfortunately, in my neighborhood on Nextdoor app, it is called Brandywine. We are in North Phoenix. Here is a well-organized group involved in severe harassment and abuse of community cats. And tonight, that was quite a interesting moment where they decided to broadcast party happening in my neighborhood through my camera speakers. But thanks to that, one more participant in the community activities revealed his or her address. But we will get to that. Yesterday I caught my west neighbor doing hacker activities using my camera microphones. I was sitting on my patio and watching cameras, watching for cats to come eat, when I heard my west neighbor who works for PetSmart headquarters in Phoenix on 19th Avenue. He was using my camera microphones. I could hear him doing that, producing scary noises to harass cats. And later the same thing came from my east neighbor, which both of them I already knew they are participants of that. So first of all, they're committing federal crime by hacking personal devices and surveillance devices and using that to terrorize, abuse community cats. So those are only two of many participants in my community. In particular, west neighbor, I had my cat return from his property with a severe tail injury. The tail near private parts was covered in a gel-like substance. She was in severe pain. I had to take screaming cat to emergency room, and it required another emergency room trip. Also with the same west neighbor working for PetSmart, days after my lady cat Sparkle was stolen, I was still letting rest of 3 cats outside, but really watching them closely. But suddenly, was one moment and Darling just disappeared. And when I was calling Darling, he was meowing from my west neighbor's yard. And I kept calling and he keeps meowing. So I went to his front door and he engaged me in conversation with his living girlfriend. Well, claimed to go look for my cat in his backyard, came back, claimed the cat wasn't there, but when I returned home, I entered through my patio door. My cat was anxiously waiting by back door and couldn't get fast enough in the house. So tonight, my creative neighbors decided to not allow community cats to eat by broadcasting the party in the neighborhood through the speaker of surveillance camera, hacked surveillance camera, to basically prevent cats from being able to come and get their food. And that is besides my house being shot at and a cat feeding station, cats themselves being shot with variety of projectiles like nails from nail guns, BBs, slinging, or whatever how you propel rocks. I also found some kind of a strange stick in my yard coming from my west neighbors. They shoot also at my pet enclosure on the patio. So, but community basically shooting from neighbors' property, shooting from moving cars, pedestrians, shooting bikers, you name it. Not only hitting my house, three of the cameras have been hit by these projectiles, and they are trying to hit cats themselves. And tonight what I'm gonna be showing is actually presenting how they were using my surveillance camera microphone to broadcast their loud party on my property from several houses away to basically prevent cats from being able to come and eat their food. I'm gonna go a little ahead. Was actually, let me start from the start. By the way, it was much louder on the live view. Move a little ahead. I think my hacker's been working on reducing the sound. So notice how the party sound disappears when the cars go by. But this is broadcasted through this camera microphone. Now, let me go on this longer. So basically, here is nearby a party, and from that party, literally they were playing party music. Hackers participating in a party played music on my through the microphone of my surveillance camera, and I'm gonna go to cloud storage. We're gonna do these two. And let me go here. So that's So that is not that loud. That is not that loud. Let me go a little bit ahead. So at some point I had, let me scroll through. I think it was in the beginning. So I was trying to play the camera, but it pretty much wasn't allowing me to do the live on that particular camera. Oh, here we go. Let me get. So that was seen super loud, but let's go to some videos here. That was seen super loud. Okay, I need to go where I'm going. So that was seen super loud, but so basically that was a live view recording, and I had interaction actually on that live view recording with the hacker. So that's the same recording, and so you really don't hear it that loud. It really is not that loud. Let's see. 712. Find a little. And here was also on the camera, right, hitting the audio. Right here, I want it again. That is a live view. was hitting the roof from the car. Another shot at the So once I turned the microphone, hacker's voice was audible. That is a hacker being said. Now I'm gonna go show different cameras. Well, at this point, I'm gonna turn the sound down. Turn this off first. I'm gonna turn the sound down and go back. In that little clip, basically, when the blue microphone turned on, the hacker's voice came in, making different kinds of noises, and when those two cars drove by, the party noise on the cameras, basically, you could not hear that. So I'm gonna go back. But you could clearly hear a couple shots hitting the house. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. So that was hitting the roof from the car. Another shot at the house. So now I'm gonna go to the party goers. Fun part. Very fun part. So, let's see. Here we go. So this is my house right here. And this is where the party took place. And this is a party hacker visited and was broadcasting that party to my house. So, my lot is 0.59 acre. These lots are over the acre, or about an acre lots. So these folks in this party where hacker participated, they decided that it is a good idea to terrorize community cats by broadcasting their party via hacked surveillance cameras, broadcasting through the microphone of my surveillance cameras on my property. And that's not the house, but I'm gonna get correct house. It was 4141. There are some other houses here. Certainly they are participants in all of this. Maybe I will have to download the rest of that. Let's see if I downloaded 10 attachments. Okay. I'm gonna get the other photos, but I am gonna go to the... And here is the party house where the party happened, where this was broadcasted from. So the hacker either lives in this house or was visiting the party. But I really truly appreciate this community harassment group providing me with more information. And this particular house I know is associated with my neighbors, and actually yesterday, no, that was on Thanksgiving night, I observed projectile shooting from this property. This is my east neighbor. Pretty much seems that whole family is a criminal enterprise. So these people, adults would teach young children to shoot at cats, whatever they are shooting, either BB guns or you know, what other ways they send projectiles towards my home and towards the cats that are visiting feeding station. So this is a regular thing. They are becoming more careful because I'm using a whole bunch of cameras to record them. But unfortunately, at every opportunity, they'll be basically shooting at my home. They're watching cats like hawks. Here are men inside that home 24 hours a day, literally in shifts. You can hear them on cameras when I go through night footage. Pretty much they're up all night, which to me indicates some kind of criminal activity, possibly related to human trafficking or something else. But that house is extremely strange. And, you know, they also will use their backyard to shoot at my pet enclosure on my patio. So they are absolutely relentless. And when I went to this house to basically address the issue of BB shooting at my pets, at my property, I almost got pepper sprayed. Luckily, he noticed that I had a cell phone in my hand recording encounter. Basically, when second male walked up to the front door from inside the house, he moved pepper spray in his right hand, was nervously moving his hand, ready to deploy the pepper spray on me when he noticed my cell phone, the way I was holding, and he told me he didn't like how I'm holding my cell phone. I explained I'm recording the encounter. So I have evidence. I addressed personally with him the issue. So at that moment, he just literally ended conversation and slammed the door. So this neighbor has been trespassed from my property along with their visitors. This is my best neighbor. And the problem with that, first of all, my female cat returned from his property with severe tail injury. Her tail near the private parts was covered in gel-like substance. So I had to rush screaming cat to emergency room, and eventually I had to have another ER visit because she was in severe pain. Also, days after my female cat went missing, so my black cat disappeared, and I heard when I called my black cat, he was meowing in his backyard. So I went to his front door. So eventually cat was released, although he claimed the cat was not in his backyard. So this is another one. So looking at these neighbors right here. So I'm living right here. This guy is involved with hackers' voices hacking. animal abuse, works for a PetSmart headquarters in North Phoenix on 19th Avenue. I know this guy is involved in animal abuse, this neighbor and this neighbor. So this is my east neighbor. So these both houses, Thanksgiving night, shots were fired towards my property with the projectiles. I'm not talking bullets and ammo, I'm talking projectiles, like frangibles. And the party where the broadcast happened tonight, where they decided that they will use hacked cameras to broadcast their party in this home. I have caught this guy shooting from his house at my property. Nick Cornelius, the guy who basically does a production of metal, he powder coats metal parts, runs business illegally from his house. Well, city thinks that, he doesn't have sign, it's okay to do so. But it's a very loud business and chemical smells come from that place and all kinds of things. And he's also very abusive with animals. I mean, this guy, he'd been shooting at my house for years. I just, when I started watching what was happening with the stray cats, after my cat went missing, I was learning a lot of things about my neighborhood and my neighbors. And certainly this guy, it would be daily, multiple times, he would be shooting at my home or somebody from his property besides him, but he's been caught on camera on a couple occasions, literally shooting at my home. This guy is a suspect too. No, not guy. Sorry, this is not a guy. This is an elderly lady. But last night, here were actually from her property. Shots were fired at my home. Projectiles. She is an ICU nurse in Children's Hospital. I don't know if she did or somebody who was visiting her did that, but that was caught on film. This guy is the suspect too. This guy is definitely involved. He's been caught on video, again, shooting projectiles towards my home. So I really do not understand what motivates so many people to get involved with animal abuse and neighbor abuse. Are they being paid by someone? Are they part of some kind of criminal cartel? So this neighborhood really needs some serious investigation of what's going on here. And quite frankly, I have heard female screams at night. I'm not gonna go more into details, but I do have suspicion here might be human trafficking going on and might be multiple people involved. So this neighborhood is a problem, major problem. Plus myself, I had experienced harassment since the moment I moved in my house. I was unpacking my boxes and, I couldn't understand why people would be kicking out plug for front yard lights, or then I started having burglaries with some damages in the house, lots of personal property damage outside, equipment damage. So it is very strange. These particular neighbors I have caught many times trespassing on my property, many times. Children are being raised to be extremely nasty, very abusive language, very disrespectful language. Parents, whoever are adults in a family are teaching literally children to shoot at cats, shoot at neighbor's house. When you call police, police refuse to do anything about that. But here we go, we are dealing with hacked personal devices. So yesterday I caught both my west neighbor and east neighbor using microphone. So I was sitting in the backyard when I heard my west neighbor using my hacked camera microphone to produce hackers noises. I heard him doing that while I was watching my front camera. And the same thing happened with my west neighbor too. This completely, and these people will stay up all night to terrorize animals. And as I said before, this house, there are lots of males, 24 hours a day. You can hear them talking all night long. Something not right is going on in that house. All the cars, they used to have lots of cars on that property, all of them with dealer license plates, which is another disturbing sign of something bigger and more criminal. Although I know the guy works for a dealership, but still, when you have all dealership cars, that's a bit weird. So this is what's going on. So using hacked cameras. So we have party right here at 4141 West Paradise Lane. Is this a house now? Let me go to the right house. So this is my west neighbor. And I don't care if they don't like that I am exposing. Yeah, but this was a party house where the hacker was visiting and broadcasting this party to the hacked surveillance camera microphone. These people are literally mentally ill. So on this note, I hope someday something changes, and I will keep gathering information, gathering evidence, and I really hope these abusers one day are locked up for good. I am highly suspicious they are involved in a lot more serious crimes than animal abuse. And here is a whole group, they're all united in their heinous activities towards the neighbors, towards the animals. And this needs to be addressed, and these people need to be taken off the streets. It's highly abnormal. On this note, thank you for listening and have a good night.